Imagine this: you wake up in the morning, staring at the ceiling, and before you even swing your legs out of bed, a wave of thoughts crashes over you. Thoughts about the past, mistakes you've made, opportunities you let slip away. Thoughts about the future, anxiety creeping in, whispering doubts about whether you're good enough, smart enough, or strong enough to face what's ahead. And then there's today, the overwhelming pressure of tasks, responsibilities, and expectations that seem impossible to meet. Do you feel stuck? Trapped by emotions you can't control, failures you can't forget, and pressures you can't escape? If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Every single one of us has been there at some point in our lives. But here's the truth: the only thing standing between you and unshakable confidence is yourself. Let me explain. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or hoping things will magically fall into place. It's about taking control of your mind, mastering your reactions, and choosing to rise above the noise. This is where we begin, with self-mastery. Think of your mind as a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds will grow unchecked, fear, doubt, negativity, all choking out the flowers of clarity, purpose, and resilience. Self-mastery means pulling those weeds before they take root. It means learning how to regulate your emotions, discipline your thoughts, and respond rather than react. Now, I know what you might be thinking: easier said than done. And yes, it's true, it takes effort. But consider this: every great achievement in history started with someone who refused to let their emotions dictate their actions. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure could have crushed him emotionally, but instead, he chose to see them as stepping stones, not roadblocks. That kind of mindset doesn't happen by accident. It happens through deliberate practice. So how do you start practicing mental toughness? By training your brain to focus on solutions, not problems. When challenges arise, and they will, you must ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger because of it? This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities. Another key principle is selective indifference. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing in the middle of a bustling marketplace. People shouting, carts rolling, chaos everywhere. Now imagine putting on noise-canceling headphones. Suddenly, all that external noise fades away, leaving you with peace and clarity. Selective indifference works the same way. Not everything deserves your attention. Social media drama, unsolicited opinions, unnecessary comparisons, these are distractions that drain your energy and cloud your focus. Learn to filter out what doesn't serve you. As Napoleon Hill once said, the starting point of all achievement is desire. If something doesn't align with your desires, why waste time on it? One of the most powerful tools for building unshakable confidence is silence. In a world obsessed with constant noise, silence becomes revolutionary. Silence gives you space to think, reflect, and recharge. It allows you to listen to your inner voice, the one that knows exactly what you need to hear. Here's a simple exercise: next time you feel overwhelmed, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Then sit quietly for 5 minutes without checking your phone, scrolling through social media, or doing anything else. Just be present. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate a sense of calm and control that radiates outward, influencing every area of your life. Let's talk about action now. Confidence isn't just about feeling good, it's about doing good. It's about translating your thoughts into tangible results. Picture a river flowing steadily toward the ocean. No matter how many rocks or branches block its path, the river keeps moving forward. Why? Because it's focused on its destination. Your dreams and goals are your destination. To reach them, you need to keep moving, even when the journey gets tough. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Start small if you have to, one step at a time, but make sure each step counts. Whether it's writing 1 paragraph of your book, making 1 sales call, or going for a 10-minute walk, consistent action creates lasting change. Here's an analogy to drive this home. Think of your life as a canvas. Every decision you make, every action you take, adds another stroke of paint. Some strokes may seem insignificant, but together, they create a masterpiece. Don't underestimate the power of small, intentional choices. They compound over time, shaping who you are and who you become. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is unshakable confidence. It's built brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. So where does real strength come from? From within. Not from external validation, applause, or approval. True confidence stems from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and why you matter. It's about embracing your imperfections, owning your story, and trusting your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. When you tap into this inner reservoir of strength, nothing can shake you, not failure, not fear, not criticism. You become unstoppable. The power of intentional thinking. Let's revisit the concept of self-mastery for a moment because it deserves more attention. Your thoughts are like seeds. If you plant negative ones, they'll grow into weeds. If you plant positive, intentional ones, they'll blossom into something beautiful. But here's the catch: intentionality isn't automatic. It requires vigilance. You see, most people operate on autopilot, letting their default programming dictate their behavior. They wake up, scroll through their phones, rush through their day, and wonder why they feel stuck. Sound familiar? To break free from this cycle, you need to become the CEO of your mind. Start by asking yourself every morning, what kind of mindset do I want to cultivate today? Is it gratitude? Focus? Resilience? Whatever it is, set that tone early. For instance, instead of reaching for your phone the moment you wake up, spend 5 minutes visualizing your ideal day. See yourself succeeding in your tasks, overcoming challenges, and feeling accomplished. This simple practice primes your brain to seek out opportunities rather than dwell on obstacles. Think of visualization as rehearsing for success. Athletes use it all the time. They imagine themselves crossing the finish line, hitting the perfect shot, or scoring the winning goal. By doing so, they program their subconscious mind to align with their goals. You can apply the same principle to your life. Whether you're preparing for a big presentation, navigating a difficult conversation, or pursuing a long-term dream, visualization helps you step into the version of yourself who achieves those outcomes. Building emotional resilience. Now, let's talk about emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks without losing your sense of purpose. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, things don't go according to plan. Maybe you didn't get the promotion you wanted. Maybe a relationship ended unexpectedly. Or maybe you simply had one of those days where everything seemed to go wrong. In moments like these, it's easy to spiral into negativity. But emotionally resilient people know better. They understand that pain is temporary and progress is cumulative. Here's a strategy to develop emotional resilience: reframe failure as feedback. Instead of viewing mistakes as evidence of inadequacy, see them as data points, information that tells you what works and what doesn't. Every successful person has faced rejection at some point. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job for lacking imagination. These stories remind us that failure isn't fatal, it's instructive. The key is to extract the lesson, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward. Another way to build emotional resilience is to surround yourself with supportive influences. Who you spend time with matters. If you're constantly around people who drain your energy or reinforce limiting beliefs, it's going to be much harder to maintain confidence. Seek out mentors, friends, or communities that uplift and inspire you. Even reading books, listening to podcasts, or watching videos, like this one, that align with your growth mindset can create a ripple effect of positivity in your life. The art of selectivity, choosing what matters. Earlier, we touched on selective indifference, the idea of filtering out distractions, but let's dig deeper into why this is such a game changer. Our brains are wired to prioritize survival, which means they naturally gravitate toward threats and problems. This worked well for our ancestors when avoiding predators was a daily concern, but in modern times, this tendency often leads to unnecessary stress. We obsess over minor inconveniences, compare ourselves to others, and waste precious energy on things beyond our control. To combat this, adopt a philosophy of radical prioritization. Ask yourself regularly, does this add value to my life? Does it bring me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, let it go. For example, social media can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it connects us to ideas, resources, and networks that enrich our lives. On the other hand, it can trap us in endless scrolling and toxic comparisons. Set boundaries. Limit your screen time. Curate your feed to include only content that inspires or educates you. By doing so, you reclaim your focus and redirect your energy toward what truly matters. This principle extends beyond digital habits. Say no to commitments that don't align with your priorities. Protect your time fiercely. Remember, saying yes to one thing always means saying no to something else. Make sure your choices reflect your values and aspirations. The strength of stillness. In a fast-paced world, stillness is underrated. Yet, it's in moments of quiet reflection that we gain clarity and perspective. Think about water. When disturbed, it becomes murky and chaotic. But when left undisturbed, it becomes crystal clear, reflecting everything around it perfectly. Your mind operates similarly. When you allow yourself to pause and breathe, you create space for wisdom to emerge. Meditation is one powerful way to embrace stillness. Contrary to popular belief, meditation isn't about clearing your mind completely, it's about observing your thoughts without attachment. Try this, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Whenever your mind wanders, and it will, gently guide your attention back to your breathing. Over time, this practice trains your brain to stay centered, even amidst chaos. Stillness also manifests in how you carry yourself. Have you ever noticed how confident people seem to exude calmness? They speak slowly, move deliberately, and listen intently. These behaviors aren't coincidental, they're deliberate. They signal authority and poise. Practice slowing down in your interactions. Listen more than you speak. Respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. These small shifts can have a profound impact on how others perceive you and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. Taking action, bridging the gap between knowing and doing. Knowledge without action is like owning a map but never leaving home. To truly master the art of unshakable confidence, you must bridge the gap between theory and practice. Here's a practical framework to help you get started. 1. Define your why. Why do you want to build confidence? What does it mean to you personally? Write it down. Keep it visible. 2. Break it down. Confidence isn't built overnight, it's a series of small, consistent actions that add up over time. Break your larger goals into manageable steps. For example, if public speaking terrifies you, start by speaking up in smaller group settings. Gradually increase the stakes as you grow more comfortable. 3. Celebrate small wins. Progress fuels motivation. Every time you take action, no matter how small, acknowledge it. Did you push through fear to send that email? Celebrate it. Did you stand firm in your boundaries during a tough conversation? Celebrate it. These moments may seem insignificant, but they're the building blocks of unshakable confidence. 4. Reflect and adjust. At the end of each day or week, take a few minutes to reflect on what worked and what didn't. What challenges did you face? How did you respond? What can you do differently next time? Reflection turns experience into wisdom, helping you refine your approach with each passing day. The ripple effect of confidence. When you commit to mastering confidence, the impact extends far beyond yourself. Confident people inspire others. They lead by example, showing that growth is possible, that change is within reach. Think about someone in your life who exudes confidence, not arrogance, but genuine self-assurance. How do they make you feel? Do they motivate you to believe in yourself? That's the power of leading from a place of inner strength. By working on your own confidence, you create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Consider this: every interaction you have is an opportunity to uplift or discourage. When you walk into a room with poise, when you speak with conviction, when you handle adversity with grace, you give others permission to do the same. You become a catalyst for positive change, not just in your life, but in theirs as well. A call to action, your next step. Now, I want you to pause and think about where you are right now versus where you want to be. What's holding you back? Is it fear? Doubt? Procrastination? Whatever it is, recognize that it's not permanent. You have the power to overcome it. The journey to unshakable confidence begins with one decision, the decision to start. So, here's my challenge to you: identify one area of your life where you'd like to grow more confident. Write it down. Then, commit to taking one small step toward that goal today. Whether it's having a difficult conversation, starting a new project, or simply practicing gratitude, take that first step. Momentum will carry you forward. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. If you're serious about personal growth, subscribe to your channel name for weekly insights, strategies, and inspiration designed to help you unlock your full potential. Together, we'll navigate the ups and downs of life, turning challenges into opportunities and dreams into reality. Final thoughts: the legacy you leave behind. Confidence isn't just about achieving success, it's about leaving a legacy. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be and inspiring others to do the same. Imagine looking back on your life years from now. Will you see someone who played it safe, stayed stuck, and let fear dictate their choices? Or will you see someone who embraced challenges, pursued growth, and lived boldly? The choice is yours. And it starts today. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this video resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's spread the tools and mindset needed to build unshakable confidence, one viewer at a time. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep believing in yourself. You've got this.